Jordan Bianchi, Jeff Gluck this morning were talking about the teardown, about how Texas Motor Speedway needs a legit facelift. And I was curious what you guys saw this weekend, because obviously I've been going there a long time, and you guys were too young for this, but when they originally opened Texas Motor Speedway, Bruton Smith loaded up a big jet, and he flew all of the NASCAR media members down there to the Cetus facility. That's how proud he was of it. Obviously, they've built condos. They got a speedway club. The area where it's located is now legit amazing. Tons of cool retail around it. Freddie and I spent a full week down there a couple years ago. They've got like a Topgolf place across the road, amazing golf course, a nice Marriott, obviously the In-N-Out, the Buc-ee's and all that. But I was curious what you guys thought of the facility this weekend, because I've noticed walking around there that it does need an overhaul, especially if it's a playoff track.
Yeah, and there's two different sides to this. Obviously, you have the facility side of it, which the fans enjoy, and then there's the racetrack side of it, and I think they both need some changes. Like yesterday, it's so hard, and I'm fine. 3 and 4 is okay for me, because I think eventually that corner might widen out. 1 and 2, I think, is maybe one of the worst corners we have, because it's just, they sprayed the resin up there, and, it brings in a second lane. But the second you get, we almost wrecked just trying to avoid Larson yesterday. When Larson spun out, like, we got just a little bit high, kind of like giving him room to wreck. And like, once you get past that point, it's like falling off a cliff. Like, you're just there's no grip whatsoever above that PJ1 or resin, whatever it is. So I'd like to see them do something, even if it's just make 1 and 2 the same as 3 and 4. But it's still super hard to pass. Like, I noticed yesterday, TJ's doing his job. We were catching the 6, and we moved up a lane, and he moved up a lane, and then we moved, and then once he takes your lane away, that's it. Like, you can't pass. And we broke even. Like, we would stay 3 back of him, and the 24 was catching us. He would stay 3 back of us, and then that's just how you run until somebody makes a mistake. So there's got to be some kind of adjustment. Like, we've seen the 1.5 miles be so good for this car, and this one just still falls flat.
Well, you're in a corner longer at Texas, but I'm speaking more to the facility side. Like, you used to drive through this tunnel, and you knew you were somewhere special. Like, the suites are outdated. Like, they've got to spend some money to make this place be premier.
I will say the track and SMI did a great job of providing, like, events and things to do for fans around it. I know I was at the dirt track Friday and Saturday night, where they had, future NASCAR racers and kids and even adults. Kyle Busch was out there running. They were out there right after the Xfinity race. So I think they do a good job on the event side. Definitely different than what it used to be. I think there used to be more of like a carnival vibe. It was a little different there. And I do agree on the venue standpoint, but I think for how big that track is and how different that track is compared to so many others, they do a good job providing that experience.
It's just the little thing. Like, it's just outdated. It's where it's getting to. I mean, I don't know, what year was it built? Like the mid 90s.
Right? I'd say 97.
So and I don't think it's gone through much of a facelift. And to Jeff's, like, I was listening to the same thing, Jeff and Jordan. Like, you see the improvements they've made to Daytona. Some of the ISE tracks, Phoenix. You can see where they're reinvesting the money or investing more money into these facilities to bring them more up to date, and you could see what's going on there. This one here, the parking lot is kind of a mess. It's just it just takes some money and some care, but
a lot of money, because look at Phoenix. Phoenix was $100 million remodel. Daytona was a $400 million remodel. They just gave Charlotte Motor Speedway $20 million. That's not enough money.
No.
These companies that own these tracks are going to have to subsidize it too. So I just want to point that out, because our fans, this is what it's about. The fans deserve an awesome experience, and you and I should not be able to go to a minor league baseball park and it'd be better than where we go for a NASCAR Cup race.
Oh, I went on Friday night to the new Texas Rangers Park, and I mean, oh my God, unbelievable! Like, I don't even know. It's probably a couple years old now, but
how much were tickets?
I mean, to get in I bought obviously a little bit better tickets, but they were $60. It was $4 to get in the door, I think, if you wanted to sit up in the top. And by the way, if you want, there's you can buy $4 or $5 tickets, whatever it was, to sit nosebleeds. But there's also a railing with a bar top along the whole outfield that you could just stand there like a standing room only essentially and watch the game. I don't think anybody's going to chase you off. So yeah, I mean, phenomenal facility. Sorry, marvelous facility, and yeah, but we just, I mean, it's not like it's dilapidated, falling apart, but you could just tell it's getting older.
Yeah, I walked. I think they did some. I thought they did some things to the track because I went downstairs. It's at the bottom of the elevator. First thing I noticed is this huge bar. Did you see that?
They did, yeah. That bar's
Yeah.
new. It was there last year, but I mean,
But I noticed this huge bar there, which was kind of cool, where you could come right back from the stands, go right to the bar, get yourself a drink. And I also went to look for something to eat one time, and I got out of there, shaft, turned left, and it was like a whole convenience store right there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Dude, it was like walking into a 7-Eleven. Like the whole back wall was all freezer stuff, every type of beer.
They have a 7-Eleven too.
They do, yeah.
Maybe. Well, I mean, it was right next to the
when
elevator.
Bruton when he bought Bristol Motor Speedway, look at what he transformed it into. When he bought Sonoma, you guys, I don't know if y'all were going out there yet. When he bought Sonoma, you could stand on the hill where we spot from and see the entire track. Well, he went in and spent a ton of money. We didn't even have garages in Sonoma. He built garages, built that front stretch grandstand. When you look at what he's done to Atlanta over the years with the condos, Charlotte Motor Speedway, what he built it into, it's like SMI. And SMI has some of the greatest properties we go to. They just need to come back in and spend some money to make them more current because they're out of date. And it's not one of them. It's most of them. And they're all in phenomenal NASCAR-loved markets.
I don't think, from the bathroom stuff we go to and stuff, they're pretty up to date still. But I'm sure the suites could probably use some updating and stuff. But to me, the biggest thing that we could do there is probably work on the racetrack. To me, I don't know.
It ain't gonna matter if the fan experience is not good.
Well, I mean,
you want to go to where Freddie just went to watch Texas Rangers.
If
you're
you
gonna
put
pay
on a good show,
well, what
if
does
your
it cost
show's
you?
good.
What does it cost you for a weekend to go to Texas Motor Speedway? Family of 4,
couldn't
coming
tell
from
you.
200 miles
Couldn't tell
away.
you.
$2,000.
I don't know. I don't.
probably more than that. I mean, if
I don't
you're
know.
factoring in hotels and stuff, I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't think.
Goodyear can fix the racing.
I would
NASCAR can fix the cars to fix the
I
racing.
don't care whatever Goodyear does. They're not going to make anyone run the wall at Texas in 1 or 2 like we used to. That racetrack, you got 8 lanes of unused racetrack there for no reason.
Especially not when you're spraying grip on the bottom of it.
Well, I'm
in
just
the
saying,
middle
like,
of it.
Middle of it. Yeah.
we've talked about it before. The first laps into turn 1 there, when they redid this, everyone was like, whoa, whoa. Everyone was missing the corner. And we need to just chop half the racetrack off up there.
Where do you think Texas is at on the schedule next year? Still one race?
one race, I would say sometime in April,
Not March.
Maybe March.
I looked up the average weather for the end of March, and it's average high. The high is 70.
I love being in Texas during the playoffs. I think it's a great market.
It is a cool area.
I mean, everything you do in Texas, their fans are awesome. The people are awesome. But
You're right. It is March. My numbers are off. I have 3.
I would hate to see it leave a playoff, but I get it. I get it why it has to. Here's the weird thing about our playoffs, though. Like, our ratings are the highest they'll ever be all season for the first race. And then they slowly decline. And then last week I saw we were down a couple 100,000. I heard Jordan Bianchi say on the podcast this morning, you got to have your 10 best tracks in the playoff. No, you don't. Your ratings are the lowest they've been all year. I mean, our championship race doesn't even go crazy out in Phoenix or Homestead or wherever you have it. So
Do you think
put your
that's-
10 best races for your fans.
Do you think that's because that's when NFL starts?
Yeah, I think that happens.
Oh,
and
big
I
time.
think, too, I mean, Freddie and I were talking about it a week ago. I think we were on a boat. Like, it's a Chase Elliott effect. He's not in the playoffs.
Also, I mean,
it hurts.
that area as well. I know it's not just that area, but I mean, what are all the people in that area watching during our race?
You'd think the
Dallas.
Cowboys get blown out by the Cardinals.
100%.
Yeah.
And bringing up the playoffs, like we've heard some rumors of, and I want to ask you guys this, what should I know we need to challenge drivers in the playoffs. You can't just have 5 intermediate ovals and 5 short tracks and let them go rip. We have 1 plate track, we have 1 or drafting track, whatever you want to call it, and 1 road course. Would you be okay with a second drafting track and a second road course in the playoffs?
What's the drafting track?
Atlanta.
Yeah.
You're looking at Atlanta.
You think back to back?
Is that what you're hearing?
Man, I don't know. I'm not a fan of 2 road courses in our playoffs, and I know
I don't
that-
want 2 road courses. I can tell you that. One, we've oversaturated. It's our worst racing. It's we've oversaturated the road, the road course side of it, I think now. But a lot of that's getting fixed.
Yeah.
So
Is that what you're hearing on the schedule for next year? I know there's rumors.
Listen, literally, I heard rumors for 2 months, and then I heard that every rumor I heard was pretty much.
I take
scrapped.
back everything I said about a doubleheader. I will tell you that part.
It's just ever changing. It seems like there's one date. I think we could say it's the Montreal date that they don't know. It's not locked down yet, and if that doesn't get done, it's probably going to send this thing back into another
This is going to
tailspin.
be a smart-ass question. How long ago was it when we realized the Olympics were going to be in 2024?
I don't think
Probably in
Olympics,
2020.
Yeah,
I don't think the Olympics are the problem.
What's the problem?
I think they've got that figured out. I think that, like Freddie said, I think we got a track that can't get locked
How
down.
do you not have that figured out if you knew?
It's a
Well,
domino effect
You're
from
working
that.
with a city you're
Yeah, I
working with essentially.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know the ins and outs of that. But
yeah.
if
that doesn't happen, it's a domino effect. What track can you? Then you got to move other things around.
Yeah, and I think there's at what time is it? There's an announcement today.
I
I
was
think
keeping
In
my
6
eye
at
minutes. It hasn't.
Milwaukee, which I think Milwaukee's going to get an Xfinity date next year. We can talk about that now because it'll probably be announced before the show comes out.
That looked like a fun race.
And yeah, for sure. And listen, I'm pretty.
Xfinity cars would be good.
I feel like you might see Xfinity make a return to Iowa next year. And listen, if
Fine with that, too.
if that
I'll support
Montreal
that.
date doesn't work out, there may be a very slim chance, but there's a chance that we may end up with a Cup race in Iowa next year.
Can
I
we
think.
request
All right.
that? Can we
I
request
don't know how
that?
good that's going to be. We're already arrow tight in Martinsville. Milwaukee's going to be, but I do
Not
like
Milwaukee, Iowa.
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
But
100%.
it's listen, it's like
Let's do it.
It's just one of them, like you hear this name, on the list of places that could replace Montreal if Montreal doesn't happen.
Can we
Call
have it?
Iowa right now. Just see if
Can
they'll
we
take
have
the
it the
date.
same weekend as the Knoxville Nationals? Because that
Casey.
would be solid.
That'd
Calm
be nice.
down. That would be cool though, because I
But
would like to see the
there's
Knoxville
like listen,
Nationals.
like to your point, Casey, like literally every rumor that we were hearing for a while, like Brett talked about the double headers not happening.
So the doubleheader in Richmond's not happening
Nope.
now. I heard it
Doesn't
was.
sound
I-
like
yeah,
doesn't
I-
sound like it.
I heard like a midweek and then Saturday
It's-
night,
yeah.
all 4 in a row: Wednesday, Thursday,
It-
Friday, Saturday.
Listen, like I said, I heard rumors last week, and this week they could be completely different. You know what I mean? Like it's changing by the week, it seems like, or by the day. And we seen Bob tweet it like. I was expecting an scheduled announcement today, but it's been pushed 2 weeks. And if they
Yeah.
tell me in 2 weeks it's pushed another 2 weeks, it wouldn't surprise me. So it's just seems like there's one date holding things up. And then listen, if you look and we're not having a doubleheader, and we know we have to have 2 off weekends, one's like the end of July, one's probably the first week of August, then the schedule is going to have to change because we're going to have to run a week later. And if you look at the way the schedule looks out and you back up 10 weeks from that point, where does that leave your cutoff races? Where does that leave
Well,
your
here's where the fan can win. Look at when Labor Day weekend is. Know that Darlington is going to be there, and then that tells you how the schedule pivots.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think either way, if Montreal gets the date, I think there's going to be a really good crowd there. I think Montreal will have a
Quarter
really
million
good
people.
Easily.
I think there'll be a lot of people there. It's a great area as well.
But how long are you going to wait on Canada?
Uh,
Canada. How long are you going to wait on that?
I don't know the answer to that. But I also
How
think
long? What?
How long are you going to wait on Canada to let you know?
Oh, yeah.
we stand on guard for the